Hey, Nick Thomas here at the 11th Annual National Cyber Summit in Huntsville, Alabama. And today I'm joined by Miss Shirley Zhao. She's one of the speakers here, and she's also the Principal Program Manager of BlackBerry's Product Security Governance Program. She's a known cybersecurity and industry expert, and she has years of experience in both consulting and industry. She's also spoken at ISACA, and she's also spoken at NIST, and today she's gonna do a speech on business-driven security here at NCS. So Shirley, welcome.
Thank you, Nick, for having me here.
Thanks for taking your time out to be with us. So, I've been hearing some things about BlackBerry, about new transformation. So can you give us some more information about that?
Sure, thanks for asking this question, because I get to be asked this question a lot.
Okay.
And we have transformed to be a software company, and we focus on the Internet of Things and cybersecurity and artificial intelligence. And we have a portfolio of different software for helping our customer secure the enterprise through the unified endpoint solution. And we have the very popular QNX, the software for the automobile industry to secure and power driver's assistance system. Many people didn't realize we have quite a very large customer base, and our customers are in the industry and government worldwide and in many different sectors, and financial, healthcare. You can find our software being used by the universities and hospitals, and I often tell people even in the outer space, because NASA is our customer too. And recently we acquired Silence. It's an artificial security company, a wonderful product. Mm-hmm. And through this acquisition, we are going to incorporate artificial intelligence into our product lines, and very exciting, very illuminating.
Awesome. So you've spent many years consulting. So what most excites you now working in the software industry?
They both excite me, but they are definitely different. Mm-hmm. And first of all, to me, this is a culture shift, the way that I look at it. Because in the consulting space, and I had the opportunity to work on many different projects. And every project is specific to my customer's specific organizational need. And I operated at the enterprise level, the department level. So the line of business and IT organization, the relationship could be very complex. So that requires us to be process-driven, right? And you need that because of just the level of complexity. You want to leverage the process to become more structured and more organized. And many people may call it as red tape, but just like I said, the level of complexity requires that you have some process built into it. And working in the industry, I feel like we are focusing on technology and solutions, and we have to build a product that is intended to serve many different customers. So the product needed to be more creative. You need to provide a very robust functionality, and that can serve, that can satisfy many different level business needs. So you can't really afford letting the process to become much of the constraint. Speaking of the process, we do have process, like for software company, you have to be very strict around your security engineering process. We set a very high standard over that. But the process around creating the product itself, and I believe that in the industry, it has to be more open-minded, more creative to stay on the industry trend. And then on the other hand, you get the opportunity, like for me, I feel like I have the opportunity to explore things in depth, look at the cybersecurity challenges worldwide, stay informed of the worldwide and threat landscape and what is happening out there. And I work with a global team of very talented professionals Every day we look at the worldwide, what is happening, what are the most critical concerns for our customer, and we analyze that when we help our customer address the most critical ones. So it is a very illuminating process for me.
Wow, that's very exciting. You'd mentioned earlier that BlackBerry is focusing on Internet of Things. So what are some of the typical concerns or considerations of enterprise IoT implementation in terms of cybersecurity?
I think one of the trends is because it's becoming very dominant. Quite every line of business is looking into to adopt IoT. It brings in a great level of the business transformation to make you more efficient. And whenever we see financial gain, we just can't resist the temptation. So enterprise, they're planning on their IoT implementation, so inevitably they will be looking at the technology and say, we need to upgrade our network because of 5G going to connect all things together, so we need to upgrade our network, our infrastructure, we need to add more solutions to secure the IoT. I think one critical consideration is the overall security capability is not just based on the technology solution, also based on the process, your overall capability, the people's capability to handle that.
Mm-hmm.
I would give you an example about for the transportation industry, the IoT device is being leveraged for managing assets. They're running out in the field, so the IoT devices help them to become more operational efficient, helping them to manage assets. But they're also, they can go beyond a corporate network. They're running out in the field. How do you handle that when there's a cyber attack, right?
All right.
So you want to look at your organization, your existing process. If your process is currently designed only to handle the things within your corporate network, you want to make adjustment to it. So every single object in this IoT era could become an attack target. And this is very critically important for the organization to consider.
So part of the process would be things like patching?
Yes, thank you, Nick. You just brought up probably if there's one single most critical thing to consider, patching. Vulnerability management is definitely the very, very important thing to do. I'll give you a number because people are going to ask why, because a lot of people are focusing on zero-day attack.
Right.
So let's speak
the next big attack, right?
Yeah, with the number, right? And Gartner has had this report, 99% of the vulnerability exploit are based on the existing vulnerability that we know, are based on the vulnerability that there are critical patch available, and if we don't apply it, you're very much subject to a very serious attack. The 2017 WannaCry ransomware, it hit organizations worldwide. Those that failed, their operation was taken down, they failed because they didn't apply that single most important patch. So no doubt, vulnerability management is very important, and this is even more important for the Internet of Things because the IoT itself could be very lightweight. The physical capacity probably wouldn't allow the automatic patch process, right? It's a good practice. Then on the other hand, the devices could be outside of the corporate network.
Right.
So at the time that you needed that vulnerability, applying the patch, you wouldn't be able to have that device available for applying the patch. So I call it patchability. It's a new word I created just to see how important it is for an organization. This is important now and even going to be more important in the future.
So patchability should be part of the process or included in the process?
Yeah, absolutely. And those, we hear the new cyber attack every day. Just if you look at individual of them, most of them, the attack succeeded because there's some patch that wasn't applied.
And the biggest one that happened recently is close to where you're located.
Oh, thank you, Nick. So I'm happy that you're aware of that, and many are not yet. And yeah, it is so close to my hometown. They got hit probably 4 weeks ago, and what I heard is because I try to look at the news every day with the hope that they have completely recovered. But unfortunately, they have not. Right now, from the media coverage, I learned it's like some of the city online services are being handled manually.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And probably by paper as well, right?
Yeah, by paper. And billing services, and even real estate cannot conduct their transaction. It's amazing. We still have yet to hear from the experts who are right now working into the scenario to get the root cause analysis. But very likely it's going to be a vulnerability issue.
So Baltimore could use a lot of help right now, folks.
Artificial intelligence.
So Shirley, last question I have for you. You've worked on both sides of technology, business, consumer, providers. What do you think the provider could do to help an organization do better in implementing technology?
I would say a lot. But we all like to solve a problem. We sell a solution. We see the immediate effect, and we get gratification of having accomplished something. I love that. I mean, I love to move needles, but I am also a fan of long-term efficiency, long-term impact, and because I believe that every single technology decision, technology, IT, or cybersecurity that we make nowadays, we can have quick and dirty solution in place, but everything that we're doing have a long-term implication to an organization, especially the larger one. And things doesn't really turn out very well. And when organizations, when they're facing challenges, then they had a tendency of switching on a different solution or switching on to working with a different vendor. I believe a vendor, a technology provider, they're doing business. They're not just selling one product for a period of time. They're selling a relationship, a collaboration that can go a long way. And I believe by understanding more of your customers' business goals, understanding their strategic goals, objective over a long term, it will help position your product, right, to sit better in that organization scenario, to help you to go a long way. So maybe I would say to become more strategic and more become visionary, become part of the business goals for the organization, it will go a long way.
All right.
Yeah.
Good words. So Ms. Shirley Zhao, thank you for being on and speaking with us today and taking the time out.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you again. Thanks for having me.